Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today's Sunday, February 25th, 2024. We're less than 6 weeks from our average last frost date, and looking at the extended forecast, it's really only one night that looks like we might be right at freezing, 30, 32 degrees, somewhere around there. The rest of the nights is supposed to be above freezing, so we might actually already be at the end of winter and seeing an early spring this year. We'll just have to hold on and see. We're going to hope for it. But today a few things we're going to try to get done. We're going to trim some trees that are here in these containers, and we're actually going to be detaching our air layer from the key lime. But before we do that, let's take a quick look in the greenhouse and see what we got going on there. There's a couple of interesting things to show you. So right here, this is the moringa. It's been growing since last year in this container. And as you can see, it's actually blooming. It's not really overly impressive with its flowers, but it does have some blooms on it. Right there, maybe you can see that one pretty good. Anyway, that's one thing I wanted to show you. And then something else we got going on here. This was our volunteer tomato plant. It was grown in one of our citrus tree containers. It's a 1-gallon nursery pot there. We put that in there a few weeks back. I don't remember exactly what the date was, but if you look close, you can see it's about to bloom for us. So this is probably the plant that's going to give us our first tomato of 2024. Then down here we got, this was a Meyer lemon. We started from a cutting back in May of 2022. And then in December of 2022, it got damaged by cold and was killed all the way back down to the roots. And then it's grown back to what you see right here from that time. And you see all the blooms on it, tons of blooms. And I don't know if we'll get any lemons, but it's certainly ready to bear fruit only at that short amount of time. And it started with the little tiny cuttings, 4 inches long. Like here's the ones like we started back on when was that? October 30th. Yeah, this one's March 2022. Yeah. So these were started in October of 2022. That right there, I don't think is on here now. But there are some blossoms starting to come on some of these as well. Here's one right here. There, you see that one's got one. So these smaller ones were all started October 30th, 2022. And then those are the Trevita oranges that were started back on November 6th, 2022. And then here, our Meyer lemon, the oldest one. Some of those leaves are looking rough, but you see all the new growth is nice and healthy. But it has lemons on it. That one's getting close to being ready to pick. This will be the biggest one we got right here, probably. But that was a few things I wanted to show you. Before this video gets too long, I need to get started on what I'm planning to do here. So we'll do some trimming on some of these trees, these pear trees, and one of these peach trees. That one right there needs a little bit of trimming too, not as much as the rest. And then we're going to be taking off this air layer. So let me get the camera set up and we'll get started. Okay, friends, I think that's going to work. I think we'll start out with this peach tree over here. This is the one that's got the least amount of work to do on it. It's a Red Haven peach, and it's actually When I bought it, it was already in pretty good shape as far as pruning. I just see a couple of ones I'm going to take off. This one right here is going straight toward the middle. I'm going to go ahead and take it off now. Same thing with this one right here. Take it off. And this one right here, same thing. And for now, I think that's probably all I'm going to take off. This one right here is probably needs to come off, but I'm not going to take it off now. Then I see one right here that's broken, so I'm going to go ahead and get it off. If it wasn't broken, I'd actually probably leave it. And let's see what else we see. This one right here is crossing over this branch, and I think this branch is good, so I'm going to take this piece off. It's actually broken too, so there you go. It needs to go. That's pretty much all I'm going to do to it. It's a little piece here that just needs to be trimmed, but that one's looking pretty good, so go ahead and put it to the side, and we'll get to the next one. Next one we're going to do is going to be this pear tree here. Again, this one not as much to do as the other two. That pear tree and this peach tree is going to get the most drastic changes to it. So for this one, this is a Kiefer pear, and I actually got this pear tree on clearance for $15. So, and I got that peach we just trimmed on for $15, and that pear, this one I paid full price for, and it was like $45. So there's a big difference. So on this one, let's see. I'm gonna get some of these ones that are going straight up and down gone. This one right here, take it off. This one right here coming toward the middle, I'm gonna take it off. And probably should be taking this one off. Maybe even this one. But for now, I'm just gonna top this one right there. I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna do to this one for now. Yeah, don't see anything else that looks like it really needs to go at the moment. So put her off to the side. Now this other pear tree and this peach tree here, these are the ones that's going to get the most drastic. Well, this one's not that drastic. This is one we're going to do next. So this is our contender peach. And I just bought this one this year, and the only main reason I bought it is because it was developed here in North Carolina, which is where I'm living. So out of all my peach trees, this one should probably have the best chance of working for us. We'll have to see. But overall, I really like it, except for this right here is just doesn't seem to belong. So it's a little out of whack with the rest of the tree, and it'll be a little more well shaped if I just go ahead and take it out now. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it a little bit high, just so when it dies back naturally, then I'll clean it up a little bit later. So I'm going to cut this whole piece off right here. And for that right there, I think shapes that tree up perfect now. I don't know, I might even try to root this as a cutting. We'll just have to see on that. Let's move on to the other pear tree. It's also going to get a pretty drastic little haircut. Probably the most drastic of them all, but it's very poorly shaped, so we got to reshape it. And what we're going to end up doing, what I really should be probably doing is trying to air layer it, but I'm just not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to be taking off all of this right here. There's a spur right there. We got these spurs here, spur here, so this is where I'm going to take it off. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I only paid $15 for this tree. And sometimes, you know, you don't really want to make such a drastic cut on something, but sometimes you just got to do it. So that's what I'm going to do here. Almost needed to break out the loppers. That was such a big, nice size trunk there. I got through it pretty easy, really, but you see, we've actually reduced it by more than half. That's okay. I think in the end, it's going to be a much better looking tree. And now let's get to what we've really been waiting for, at least what I've been most anxious to do. I had some notes on it. I think, let's see here, what date. So this air layer I started back on October 24th, 2023. It's been there for 18 weeks. And it took it a while to actually even show us any signs, but I think I finally today got to looking at it, and I finally do believe I see roots. It's had blossoms growing on it and actually a little bit of new growth, but certainly not looking as healthy as the rest of the tree. But we're gonna go ahead and get it off, get it potted up in its own soil. I'll bring it over there a little closer once I detach it. So that was just some black plastic keeping the light off of it. And if you watched the original video, what we got there is a sandwich bag with soil in it. What you need to do is go ahead and try and remove the branch. Then I'll try to take the bag off. Let's see where we can get to it at. So there's a little branch coming out the back side here that I'm trying not to have to cut off when I do this. I may end up having to anyway. We'll see. I think I might be able to get it without it doing that. All right. Here we go. All right. There's the air layer. I just removed it. Now let's see what it looks like inside. I'll come on a little closer to the camera and we'll take all this off together. I don't know if the sunlight's gonna mess things up, but hopefully not. So as far as the roots, I actually saw, oh, there we go. I can definitely see some right there. You see? Poking through the soil right there. It looks like it was successful. And I think it's actually going to be happy to get into some soil where it can get some nutrients from it. So normally if I wasn't trying to show this to y'all, I'd probably be a little bit closer to my pot that I was about to plant it in, just so I could not disturb the roots any more than I needed to. But this is in the interest of science. We're going to do it right here close to the camera. Let me get this next one off. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see. Oh, we don't want that to happen. So that side don't got nothing holding to it. Tell you that, it just fell right out. Oh, there we go. Oh, not hardly nothing. Look, very little roots, but they are roots. So we're gonna get this in the soil now. That was probably not the best for it. I can see I broke at least one root there, but we got roots. There you can see it. I'm actually, now that I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and take all this bottom part off of it. Uh, that's where we had removed the bark. This is the part that was still connected to the tree, and the roots are right above it, and we're gonna go ahead and get it planted. So let's get that now. I think we'll even leave some of its soil that it was enjoying. So here, let's go ahead and I'll show you where I'm gonna cut it before I get it in there. Let's not hit any of the roots we got. I think right there will be good. That's it. All right. That's not a lot of root for a whole lot of trees, so we're gonna, hopefully it's gonna make it through all this. I need to get a stake in here. Let me grab that. Matter of fact, I think I need to get this tape here I got. Some grafting tape right here. And I'll use that. Attach it to this stick. So when I actually get it in the ground, it's got some good support. Cool. Let's see. Not good. Right there. Now we're going to go ahead and fill it up with soil. We don't want to bury too much of the tree. That's why I decided I'd attach it to this stake first. Probably should have left the air layer just a little bit longer, but that's all right. It'll be fine. What we're going to do is wrap it down here one a little bit. Make sure it kind of stays supported. Ed, you're not doing a good job there, guy. All right, there we go. And hopefully this is going to really take root now. It's kind of got no choice but to only rely on itself. All right, so this soil is going to settle. Don't want to pat it down too much because I'm going to break off those roots. So I want to make sure it's at least supported a little bit. All right, well, so there's our air layer, been detached. We'll just have to keep you updated on that. This is what the tree is looking like now. Without that, it's looking pretty good. It's actually in a much better shape to it. It's got a much better shape to it now. A little bit on this side's not grown out as much, but I would take some of this off here, and that's going to really get it shaped up, maybe even back down to here. We'll see. We just had to see on that. With that, I think we're going to end the video right here. Thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy your day.